At the time, the country was full of excitement and anticipation, but since then we've learnt about various tensions in the build-up to the big day. One of those apparently was over the menu, that there'd been some dispute over one of the dishes being prepared for the wedding banquet. According to Katie Nicholl of Vanity Fair, Meghan had been tasting the dishes, and one dish that was meant to be vegan, she complained smelt of egg. And apparently at this point, suddenly the Queen walked in and said, "Meghan, in this family, we don't speak to people like that." And that was a sign of the tensions. You know, Meghan was an actress. She's probably used to speaking to staff in quite an abrupt way. But in the royal family, servants, you know, they're almost part of the family. In some cases, you know, like the Queen's right-hand woman, Angela Kelly, they're almost like a sister or a daughter to Her Majesty. Even Meghan's bridal gown was apparently the cause of some dispute. Remember, Meghan was a divorcee, and the Queen was apparently surprised that she was choosing to wear a white dress. According to the royal author Ingrid Seward, in her book Mother and I, Lady Elizabeth Anson, who was a cousin and close confidant of the Queen, claims the Queen said Meghan's wedding dress was too white. In the Queen's opinion, it wasn't appropriate for a divorcee getting remarried in a church to look quite so flamboyantly virginal. Now this is a lovely photograph and really symbolic. What we see here is then Prince Charles walking Meghan down the aisle. You might remember that he met her halfway. She chose to walk the first half on her own, a very sort of symbolic gesture. People interpreted that as a feminist gesture. And then she was met halfway by Charles. And the reason for this was that her own father, Thomas Markle, had been due to walk her down the aisle as tradition dictates, but he'd pulled out. He'd been taken ill with heart problems, and so Charles had kindly agreed to step in. But interestingly, Ingrid Seward, the royal author, claims that the Queen didn't really approve of this, that she felt uncomfortable with it. She doesn't really explain in what way, but I suspect it was just because the Queen felt that it should be Meghan's father who took that role, or no one.